Is it a mannequin? You can't tell?
That's the most detailed mannequin I've ever seen in my life.
So is there any burned body or?
Yeah, there's a mannequin. Sarge, I can't. It's possible this might be a body.
On the afternoon of New Year's Eve 2021, deputies were dispatched to a remote stretch of desert north of Phoenix. The call came in as a brush fire, but as they navigated the rough terrain of Table Mesa Road, they realized they were driving into a crime scene.
Oh, treat as a crime scene.
See, it looks like there's hair on his legs, and he's got like fishnet stockings on, and it looks like his.
Could be a girl then?
I don't know. His hair is short. I think it's a guy dressed as a girl. And there's two guys that are here also too, and at the top of the hill where he landed, it looks like there's blood up there. So I think we might have something here.
The details at the scene, the fishnets, the positioning, it all added to the confusion. It led officers to hope for a moment that this really was just a mannequin, a sick prank in the desert. But forensics would soon shatter that theory. The remains would later be identified as 41-year-old Benjamin Anderson. He wasn't a transient, and he wasn't a random stranger. He was a beloved friend from Phoenix who had been reported missing just hours earlier after making a final, unsettling phone call. He told his friend he felt weird and lightheaded. He didn't explain why. He didn't ask for help. He just hung up, and that brief, confused conversation would be the last time anyone heard his voice. Minutes later, when friends tried to call him back to check on him, his phone went straight to voicemail. Texts went unanswered. The GPS on his phone went dark. They began a desperate search across Phoenix, tracking his digital footprint, unaware that the clock was already ticking down to a fire in the desert 30 miles away.
All right, well, I hope the fire extinguisher doesn't mess up the evidence. Hey, Sarge.
Hey. So, like I said, you treat as a crime scene. Don't.
Right here too. Did you get my photos?
Yeah. Can you tell? Does it have genitals?
I can't see it. It's too tucked in. I can't tell. But there's blood up here at the top of the hill where it looks like a body dump, Sarge, that somebody drug him and threw him off this little cliff. Okay, guys. I walked down around the thing. I went down to the bottom of the hill. I think it's a real person.
We gotta put it out.
I used the yellow as obviously my fire extinguisher because they weren't sure if it was a mannequin. When I walked up, I wasn't 100%. So I mean, it was already, the flames were already going on him. So I put it out, and obviously I got down to a smolder, and I'm 95% sure it's. You can see what?
Bone coming through the foot.
I think. Well, no, that looked to me like his toe. That looked like to me. Like I said, I went down there. If there's something that you could do to take care of the smoldering, but be as very cautious as possible, not to disturb too much.
Once the flames were out, the debate was over. The heat had stripped away the illusion, revealing details that plastic mannequins don't have.
Is confirmed human?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
If it's not, it's a hell of a good number.
Yeah, we got a call it's probably about an hour ago now. It was a possible human body on fire in Table Mesa, like I-17, but it's probably 4 or 5 miles off of the I-17 going, just to give you some proxy, west towards like Lake Pleasant area, but off Table Mesa. Fire department gets out here, deputy gets out here, it's confirmed it's a human body. That's the bottom line, it's a human body. It's not in a vehicle. It looks like it may have been dragged down into like a ravine out of view, and then somebody set it on fire. And there's a couple possible, not like eyewitnesses to see what exactly happened, but they happen to be in the area when this whole thing went down. So I saw the pictures. I haven't been down to the actual body yet, but I saw pictures. It looked like the top half was like partially missing, either from being chopped or burned. I couldn't really tell from the pictures, but the fire department confirmed it is human.
At this moment, the scene was immediately locked down. Officers began stringing crime scene tape, creating a hard boundary between the chaos of the discovery and the meticulous work of the investigation. From this moment on, every inch of dirt inside that perimeter wasn't just desert terrain, it was evidence. While deputies were securing the ravine, a separate, frantic search was unfolding 30 miles south in Phoenix. Ben's friends hadn't just sat by the phone, they were actively hunting for him. Using GPS tracking, they tracked his Lexus to a hotel parking garage off I-17. They arrived in time to see strangers inside the vehicle, people who definitely weren't Ben. They called 911, but the suspects slipped away. When the car was finally located hours later at a nearby college parking lot, the pattern became clear. The killer wasn't just hiding the body, they were erasing the timeline. Just like the discovery in the desert, the car had been torched. Back at the scene, the deputies face a critical tactical problem. In a remote desert location like this, the odds of two separate groups of people stumbling upon a crime scene at the exact same time are incredibly low. The officer needs to determine immediately, are these people witnesses, or are they the ones who started the fire? They begin a process called witness triangulation. They need to separate the stories of the two groups to see if they align. Group A, the men in the Nissan, were the ones who called 911. Group B, the men in the truck, claimed they were just here to target shoot. The deputy listens carefully to the timeline. He needs to verify that the target shooters actually crossed paths with the callers, confirming that they arrived after the fire was already burning.
So as I'm crossing over the hill, I see the truck. I say, oh, there it is. And then I see some, and then I can see the smoke running. One kid, the younger kid, he was in the truck. The other two, Brandon and Bryant, were here on the point looking, and I only saw Brandon, and Bryant went down there to confirm because he looked like from up top, looked like a mannequin to them. So Bryant, he's military. He hiked down there to look, and he says, and then as he's coming up the hill, I'm going, it's human. And then they said, well, if it's a mannequin, it's the best detailed mannequin we've ever seen.
How'd they get back here? I don't. Well, I get it, but how did they know something was going on? Smoke?
They're looking to target shoot.
Okay, they were coming back here to target shoot,
Yeah.
and they came across this. Did they have any interaction with the caller?
They came across with the caller.
Okay.
The caller, said, hey, I think there's a mannequin burning down there and there's a fire. So they passed, because as the black car's pulling out, they were pulling in, and that's when they said, hey, I think there's a mannequin burning.
So the caller said something to these three boys.
Correct.
They were coming out here to target shoot.
Correct.
So they stopped right here.
Because they saw the smoke.
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna back up and stop, see what is that fire. And I stopped and I looked, I'm like, what the f? And when I reported, I was like, I wasn't sure about if it's a real body or a mannequin.
When we first got
how
did you
the
see any
is.
cars leaving or nothing?
Nothing. I tried to look around, see if there's anything else.
Yeah.
It was just something right on side out on the fire.
Something red.
And
Their story checks out. The shooters confirm they met the callers on the main road who warned them about the burning mannequin. This establishes a sequence of events. The killer had already fled the scene before either of these groups arrived. But this creates a new problem. If everyone currently on the scene is innocent, then the person who lit that match is already gone. As the sun set on Table Mesa Road, the immediate leads dried up. The witnesses on scene were cleared. They were just strangers in the wrong place at the wrong time. The killer had a head start, and while deputies were processing the desert scene, the second half of the crime was being uncovered 30 miles away in the heart of Phoenix. Benjamin's white Lexus was found later that night at a college parking lot near the Super 8 motel, where his friends had first tracked it. Just like the body in the desert, the vehicle had been torched. This wasn't a panic move. This was a calculated attempt to destroy forensic evidence. The killer drove the victim into the desert, murdered him, and then drove all the way back into the city to dispose of the car. It showed a terrifying level of planning and cooling off. For nearly 4 years, the case remained a frustrating mystery. But in September 2025, investigators finally broke the silence. They announced charges against 2 men, and the connection between them added a disturbing layer to the case. The suspects were a father and son duo, 24-year-old Jaden Kaufman and his father, Richard Kaufman. Richard worked as a service manager at a local car dealership, a detail that suddenly explained how the killers might have known how to strip the Lexus or disable its tracking so effectively. But when police announced Jaden's name, they revealed something even darker. Jaden wasn't hard to find. He was already in prison. Months before he allegedly killed Benjamin Anderson, Jaden had shot and killed another young man, 21-year-old Cody Dittmer, in a Tempe park. Jaden had been arrested for that crime, but was released due to a lack of evidence at the time. He was a free man on New Year's Eve 2021, a free man with a history of extreme violence, looking for his next target. The most haunting part of this investigation isn't the burning of the evidence or the father-son connection. It is the motive. Investigators have found no link between Benjamin Anderson and the Kaufmans. No shared friends, no prior disputes. It appears that Ben was simply a target of opportunity, a man who crossed paths with a predator on a holiday morning. Ben made a simple choice to cancel brunch because he felt weird. He had no idea that he had likely just encountered the men who would end his life. As of late 2025, prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Justice has been delayed for 4 years, but for the families of Ben Anderson and Cody Dittmer, the wait is finally over.